first started college, I would go out to eat every single day. At least for the first 2 weeks, I went out like every day.
I was going to like McDonald's, I was going to Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's, Panda Express. I was going everywhere. Chinese buffet. Like, what you doing? You don't got that type of money to be spending.
So if I could offer you, what's up you guys, and welcome to the first YouTube video. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing the mistakes that I made my first year of college and how and why I think you guys should avoid making these mistakes. So if you guys want to find out what those things were, keep watching. And before we get into the video, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And also share this with your friends because I'm sure if you need this, they're going to need it also. Alright, let's get into the video. When I first started college, I would go out to eat every single day. At least for the first 2 weeks, I went out like every day.
I was going to like McDonald's, I was going to Chick-fil-A, Panda Express. I was going everywhere. Chinese buffet. No. What you doing? You don't got that type of money to be spending.
So if I could offer you the best tip out of this whole thing, well, probably second to best, it would be to bring your own lunch, because when you bring your own lunch, you're not going to be spending as much money as you would, not bringing it. So even if it's just like leftovers, or if you have to make like a sandwich or something like that, bring your own lunch. You're going to need it. Number 2, procrastination. So being in college and fresh out of high school, you're going to procrastinate a lot. And college is not like high school. In college, you cannot procrastinate, because if you procrastinate, you're going to get behind, and then when you start getting behind, you're going to try to catch up, and then when you try to catch up, you're going to eventually start failing, because it's going to be so much work that's piled on top of each other and keeps piling and piling. So as soon as you get the assignment, go ahead and do it, or if you don't have time to, put a reminder on your phone and schedule time to do the assignment and get it done. And when I first started, I did not do that. I procrastinated so much, especially with English 101. If you guys are taking English 101, honey, don't procrastinate. You guys are going to have a lot of essays, and the best advice that I can offer you for taking that class is when you guys start to do the essays, even though the essays aren't due until like 2 weeks or even a month from now, write at least a paragraph a day and save it to a flash drive. That way you guys will have more time to like brainstorm, or if you go back and you change your mind and you want to change it, you guys can do that. But at least type like a paragraph a day, so that way you won't have to wait last minute and stay up until 12 o'clock in the morning trying to write a whole essay. And those essays are not short, they're like 700, 800 words, 1,000. So go ahead and, start on it. You don't have to finish it right away, but at least get like a rough draft. Also, if you guys go ahead and do that, you can have your teacher look it over, because in college they actually do look at your grammar and punctuation and all that stuff. So if you go ahead and, get like a rough draft and then give it to your teacher, you can email it to them and let them look at it, or you can print it out and let them look at it, and they'll, tell you what you need to go back and fix. So that'll also help you maintain a good grade in the class. Alright, so number 3, study method. Now, here's something that if you don't take anything else from this whole video, take this study method. This right here is going to help you out big time. Going into college, I didn't have a study method, and to survive college, you really need a study method. And what I mean by study method is it can be like flashcards, it can be using Quizlet, it can be writing it down over and over again, repetition, or just auditory, listening to it. So reading, it is good, and you do need to read, but you're gonna get bored, and you're gonna start getting distracted, and you're not gonna pay attention to what you're reading. So don't just read the textbook. You actually need to write out the notes or do flashcards. Make flashcards and Quizlet your best friends, I'm telling you. Flashcards and Quizlet. Remember that. Okay, Alright, so we're on number 4. So, scheduling time to study. I think this is somewhat important when you first start college. It would help you a lot. So that way, like next semester, you already have a gist of what it's going to be like, I guess. So, when you study time, when you study time, I cannot talk. So, when you schedule time to study, you can set like a reminder on your phone. And here's the way that my biology teacher taught me to do it. And I will link one of the sheets down in the description box below. And you guys can print it out and use it. And write down what time you go to work. Write down when you have lunch. Write down any of those activities that you have that day. Or you can write down what time you have each class. And then in the blanks that are empty, or when that time that you have free time, then you can add in study now or study here. And even if you guys just study at least 1 hour a day, you guys should be good. So using a study method, you guys can use Blackboard. I did not use Blackboard enough when I first started college, and I kind of regret it, and here's why. In Blackboard, your teachers are going to record videos ahead of the lesson. So you guys can go in, especially if you're auditory learners, and watch the videos before the lesson actually starts. That way, whenever you get to it, you'll already have a brief on what it's going to be about, and it'll just better help you understand. In some classes, they actually don't give you handouts unless they want you to have it. So with your notes and everything, if that class does ask you to take notes instead of doing it from PowerPoints, they'll actually have in Blackboard a section where you can print out the notes. One side will have like vocabulary or a topic, and then the other side will look blank. And the way they'll have it is like going across, there will be lines. So you can actually, they have it that way so you can fold it and it can be like a note card. So you can have like little note cards going down the side, and that'll help you study. Don't wait last minute and try to fill those out, because you're going to need those in class. So if you have free time, go ahead and do those, because those are going to help you out a lot. And I know with some teachers, at the end of the semester, they will actually go back, and if you have all those things done, you actually get bonus points for them. And those bonus points you can use towards your final exam. That's going to help you out a lot, especially if you're failing the class, like I was. You got Quizlet, you got Blackboard, and you got flashcards.
Them 3 right there is your best friend. Use them. Alright.
Not scheduling time with my advisor. So throughout college, I didn't really meet up with my advisor, and I kind of regret that, because you need to talk to your advisor. Your advisor is going to be the one to tell you what classes you need to take and avoid you from taking the wrong ones, how many hours you need for the program that you're trying to get into. Your advisor is going to be your lifesaver. Talk to your advisor, because your advisor is going to tell you what classes you need to take, why you need to take them, and they will save you from taking classes that you don't need to take. So following number 6 with the advisor, number 7, the biggest mistake that I made in my first year was at the end of the semester, I waited to schedule my classes. And I didn't really think about it, because it was my first year and I didn't really know how it worked. So after the semester ends, like I said, go meet with your advisor. They're basically going to make you meet with them anyways during some point of college. Like even if you take an orientation class, which you're going to have to, they'll make you meet with your advisor. But meet with your advisor at the end of the semester and schedule your classes. Do not wait last minute like I did, like the week before the next semester was about to start, and I went and scheduled my classes. Just go ahead and meet with your advisor, find out what classes you need. It's not going to take very long. And then as soon as you get that, make sure your FAFSA is filled out, and go ahead and charge those classes to FAFSA. Alright, so I should have said this one earlier, but waiting last minute to get motivated. You don't want to wait like I did like my very first semester in class, in the school year.
I waited last minute, like the last month,
To get motivated, and I realized that I could have done so much better and had a higher grade than what I had. But I actually ended up having to retake two of my courses because I didn't meet the requirements, which is a 70 or above. I would use Quizlet and go through the already pre-made tests that related to my class, and I would go in the lab and take those tests, and I would pass the test with like 90s and 95s and whatever. And I realized I could have just been doing this from the beginning, and I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in right now. Also, this is just random. College is not like high school, so don't think get out of doing homework. And college is way different from high school. In high school, if you don't have your homework, some teachers will go, "It's okay, just turn it into me tomorrow." You might get lucky and get a teacher like that from when you first start college, probably for that first week or two. But after that first week or two, if you don't have your homework, she won't even say anything to you. He or she will just give you a 0 and keep it moving. And you just got a 0. Also, try not to be late to class. I know the way they did it in my class, in my biology class, if you were late, I think you got a 0 for the day. Yeah, if you were late, you got a 0 for the day. And if you did come late, you got partial credit. But at the end of the school year, or at the end of the term, they will go back on the roster and they will look at your at all of your absences, and they will see how many times you were late, how many days of class you missed. And if you miss too many, you can't get bonus points. But also, not only that, you don't want to miss a lot of class, and you don't want to be late because of FAFSA. A lot of you guys are going to college on FAFSA just like I am, and FAFSA requires you to meet a certain percentage, and that's not only just counting your grades in class, it's also counting how late you are to class and how many days you miss. So if you do miss days, make sure that you have a doctor's excuse, not an excuse from your parents like you did in high school, because it's not going to work. But make sure that you have a doctor's excuse, and make sure that you turn it in. And I think you have 7 days. 7 days you have to turn it in, and any work that you miss, you get to make it up. Especially tests. If you miss tests, you need to make sure that you have an excuse, because if you don't get to make up the test, and that's going to be a very big percentage of your grade, and you don't want a 0 on a test. So make sure you have those excuses, and make sure you're not late all the time. I was late a couple of days, but not that much late. And I know in some classes, if you are late, you have to sit in the back, and that's how they will know if you were late or not. And if you don't sit in the back and they see you come in and they know who you are, they're going to give you a 0 for not sitting in the back. So either way, it's a win or lose. Let's talk about the STARS guide. Some of you guys are going to college on FAFSA, like I said, and some of you guys are planning to transfer. If you guys are planning to transfer, make sure that you meet with your advisor. Your advisor plays a very important role in college. Make sure that you meet with your advisor, and they're going to tell you this when you go to orientation. But make sure you meet with your advisor, and make sure that you talk about the STARS guide. The STARS guide is basically another program that's going to help you transfer all of your credits from your community college to a 4-year university. And you want to make sure that you have the right classes, because some classes they won't transfer all of your credits, and then you'll have to retake them when you go to that university, and it's just going to be a big mess. And the STARS guide is going to make sure that you guys have the classes that you need, so when you transfer, you don't have to worry about losing any credits and retaking classes. So make sure you guys do that. The last tip that I have, and this is kind of a personal tip really, but having 2 separate backpacks. I have 2 separate backpacks for my Monday, Wednesday class and my Tuesday, Thursday class. Why I have 2 separate bags is because that way I don't get everything confused, and if I just throw something in my bag and I forget about it, it's still going to be there when I do think about it. So that's really just a personal choice. But I think it's very helpful to have 2 separate backpacks. So yeah. So that is everything that I have for this video. I can't really think of anything else. But if you guys are already in college and you have some advice for anyone that's just now starting college, comment down below and share your experience. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want to see more videos related to this topic, or if I didn't explain something, or if you just have a question. And I will see you guys next time.